I want to talk to you guys about exercise. So how many exercise in the class? I want to pose some choices to you, or some photos. You've got two different depictions of people of the same age, but they have drastically different physical fitness levels. The group on the left, they are 74-year-old females. One looks like in some sort of competition, and the other one is unfortunately wheelchair bound. On the right, you've got two gentlemen who are the same age with obviously drastically different physiques, and likely that would go further into their internal workings and how efficient their body is functioning. So essentially what I want to do is pose to you guys that consistent exercise can lead to drastically, consistent exercise is a worthwhile undertaking, and you'll reap the benefits of it later on in life. So my name is Joe. I have exercised one way or another for the majority of my life. I played sports in my childhood. In baseball, basketball, I wrestled in high school, and then moved on to weight training, did some outdoor activities, hiking, rock climbing, things like that. And I still exercise today. I run, weight training, things like that. And it's a big stress relief for me. Initially I did all that to feel better. I just enjoyed more energy levels, self-image, things like that. But getting into the health sciences curriculum, I've found some of the deeper physiological workings and how exercise benefits you internally. So I want to kind of share some of that with you guys and stress the importance of how exercise is something you should seriously consider implementing into your daily life. Some of the things we'll talk about are the short-term benefits, how you'll feel better in the moment, how it will help you in your day-to-day life now. And then we'll look at long-term, how exercise as a regular part of your routine will benefit you later on in life. And then we'll actually look at some different workout ideas and how to fit that into your budget and schedules. So the first thing I want to look at is the immediate benefits. Like I said, it's definitely increases your energy levels. Anytime you elevate the heart rate, increase circulation, essentially that gas exchange system, what's happening is you're taking in oxygen, going through the process with mitochondria, not to get too deep into it, but essentially that creates that energy and you're expelling carbon dioxide. So the more you exercise, the more efficient, the more blood flow, and that in turn leads to better energy levels. Anytime you exert yourself, you're going to sleep better. And better sleep, better circulation to the brain is going to increase your cognitive functioning. That's going to help you in school. It's going to help you to concentrate, retain that information you're getting in lecture or reading. And ultimately, it's a great stress reliever. We're all facing stress day to day, so it's a good way to kind of get away from the computer screen or studying out, get out from under the book and get rid of some of that stress. Looking at some of the long-term benefits, that stuff is going to benefit you short-term, but it's going to in turn also do things like increase your heart, the heart's a muscle, so it's going to increase that heart muscle's strength and efficiency. So it's not going to have to work as hard to circulate the same amount of blood through your body. And strengthening your heart, making your heart healthier, staves off heart disease. We'll talk about why heart disease is such a big thing in just a little bit, but it also reduces your risk of type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, which is just a bone degenerative disease that tends to come on later in life, and that just means your bones get weaker and more brittle. So weight-bearing exercise does a lot to strengthen and make your bones more dense. Just leads to a healthier, more stable, better balance, things like that. Your circulation runs, your red blood cells, white blood cells, which your white blood cells are part of your immune system. You've also got a lymphatic system that mirrors your circulation, your circulatory system. So increasing that blood flow, making everything more efficient, increases your immune response to potential pathogens or, anything coming into the body that's foreign. All of that's going to basically improve your overall cognition. One article I found talked about dementia, being an issue, and the fact that the more you exercise, that staves off the risk of dementia in your later years. So now let's talk a little bit about working out specifically. So we're all dealing with different schedules, varying different responsibilities, and we're also dealing with different budgets. So I wanted to give you guys some thoughts, some ideas for actually being able to fit in a workout into your schedule. The CDC talks about the recommended amount of exercise is 150 minutes per week. And the main way that's broken down is 5 days a week, 30 minutes a session. That's something to shoot for, but it's definitely not something that you have to hit right out of the gate. There was another article in healthline.com that the University of Utah conducted a study and found that 5-minute high intensity workouts are very beneficial, and that's a lot easier to fit in a 5-minute session than it is devoting that 30 minutes. And I feel like once you start seeing the benefits of exercise, you'll start wanting to build that amount of time up. But start low or start slow and work your way up. The main takeaway that I wanted to put forth here is that any amount of physical activity is beneficial. So when you're trying to decide what to do, a key factor is to pick something you like. If you like to play a sport, then choose that. If you already go on hikes or walks, with your dog or your family, then continue that. Again, anything counts. So choose something you like to do. You're a lot more apt to stick with it, and consistency is key. We want to make this a habit. If you don't do things like that, home workouts are an option. It's easier to knock out a workout at home rather than having to schedule a time to go to the gym, drive there, workout, drive back. You can knock out a quick workout at home, like we talked about, that 5-minute micro workout. There's a lot of different options online. Here's a couple of options. You've got using a set of stairs to do some cardio work, and that's also going to be strength building. The gentleman in the middle is actually doing lunges while he vacuums. So talking about time management, you're knocking out 2 things at the same time. And then on the right, they're using a big bottle of detergent as basically in lieu of a kettlebell. You can use, in lieu of a dumbbell as well. One of the things I like to do is take a deck of cards, and you'll pick one, you'll assign a workout or some sort of exercise to each suit. So we'll say heart is overhead press, diamond is push-ups, clovers are squats, and then spades are lunges. So if we take the one off the top, we've got a 5 of hearts, and we said hearts was overhead press. So we use this convenient can that we found in the cupboard, and we'll do overhead presses with it, and we'll do 5. And then you would switch to the other hand and do 5 there as well. You want to maintain symmetry. Just an option to throw out. There's a bunch of different ideas. You can think outside the box, get creative with this stuff. So to review what we've covered, we've talked about some of the immediate benefits, the short-term benefits. You're going to get stress relief from all that going on, with all your responsibilities. That's going to improve your cognitive skills, help with schoolwork. You're going to get better sleep. You're going to have higher energy levels. You're just going to feel better all around. And then when we talk about how it benefits us long-term, we're fighting off some of those known common diseases and issues that people face down the road when they do lead a sedentary lifestyle. And then we also talked about some of those exercises and routines that you can do that work with budgets and time constraints. So the CDC says that heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States. And that's, I think that's something that a lot of us may have known already, but exercise does a lot in the way of strengthening the heart, making it more efficient, healthier, and staving off that risk of heart disease in the future. So among other benefits, but I wanted to throw this up because it is the #1 cause of death. And think about family. So I wanted to relay that I've had family members that have passed, unfortunately, and some that are still dealing, suffering and going through some of these diseases related to sedentary lifestyles, and poor nutrition plays a part in that as well. But do it for not only yourself to feel better and not deal with things down the road, but also for your family. I want you guys to be able to spend time with loved ones, either traveling later in life or being able to play with grandchildren in the yard. This guy's still doing push-ups in his later years. So exercise definitely benefits. Here's some resources that I found my material from, and also, I wanted to throw out that Google, YouTube, anything really, you can find just countless ideas for exercises, routines, ways to get that exercise in, on a budget and, with time constraints. So, does anybody have any questions? I hope I've provided some information, hopefully at least persuaded you to contemplate taking up exercise. It'll definitely benefit you now and down the road. Thank you.